Today we have a 2024 Subaru WRX TR. In this video, I'll talk about what the WRX TR is, how I feel about the interior space, and what it's like to drive it. Now, since its debut in 2021, the WRX has been a subject of controversy, mainly because of its polarizing design, but I think at this point we all got over it and can get used to all this plastic cladding. Now, the design is not what really matters in the TR, so let's jump right into technical aspects of this new trim. The 5th gen WRX is built on Subaru's global platform and features strut-front suspension and double wishbone setup in the back. Now, when the VB generation WRX was launched, the top trim was only available with a CVT, and Subaru listened to their clients, creating a new, even more enthusiast-oriented trim called the TR. Now, some of you may look at the new TR trim as a reference to the 06-07 Hawkeye with the tuner-ready trim, which was basically a stripped-down version of the WRX made for enthusiasts who wanted to mod their car. Now, this is what we get here is the complete opposite. You basically get a lot of things from the factory, which means you can keep your warranty. So the TR in 2024 gives you revised suspension, retuned steering rack, Brembo braking system with 6-piston front calipers, Bridgestone Potenza S007 tires, monorail delete, and Recaro bucket seats. Everything that you will appreciate on a racetrack or autocross. And that's where all the changes end, as the drivetrain remained the same. Under the hood still sits a turbocharged 2.4-liter flat 4, delivering 271 horsepower and 258 pound-feet of torque. The power obviously goes to all four wheels via a 6-speed manual, with the center diff varying the torque distribution depending on the grip. Now, before we talk how it all works together, let's take a look inside and talk about the interior space. Stepping inside the WRX, you see a typical Subaru interior, but unlike previous generations, it has more soul to it, if you will. The design no longer looks like something from the 90s, you get a good mix of different materials, including Alcantara inserts, and I have to give it to Subaru. They did a decent job blending in modern looks and typical ergonomic of Japanese cars. The storage is average, and it's not gonna blow your mind with medium-sized door pockets and not a lot of space in the center console area. From the usability perspective, just like most manufacturers, Subaru is getting rid of physical controls, burying everything in the infotainment. The system hasn't really been improved since it was launched a couple of years ago, and while it's intuitive, it is horrendously slow, and the graphical interface makes it look like a toy for kids. What makes me happy though is the fact that we still get simple analog gauges with a display in the middle that shows all the information you need, such as a trip data, turn-by-turn directions from the navigation system, or a boost gauge. The TR trim gives you heated Recaro bucket seats, which provide amazing support and are relatively comfortable, but they don't breathe as well as the buckets in the Type R, and adjustable lumbar support would be a nice thing to have. Now, moving to the back, you get good amount of legroom and headroom, so two adults should have no issues fitting back there. It's also nice to see USB Type A and C ports, but sadly, no climate vents. So that was the interior of the new WRX TR. Let's get it on the road now and see how it drives. Let's start our driving impressions with power delivery, which is consistent and smooth, unlike an old WRXs with a 2-liter engine, and it seems like Subaru finally figured out how to tune the engine without weird power dips or inconsistency. Now, granted, the new 2.4 engine revs only to 6,000 RPM, where the old unit revved to 6,500, but as I said, here we get a nice smooth power delivery, and I'll take it over what we had before. The 6-speed manual gearbox is precise, and another thing that Subaru improved from the past is the clutch. It has never been something you easily get used to, but the one at the TR feels nice. Now, we all know that with symmetrical all-wheel drive, the WRX should handle like a dream, so how did it do on my favorite back road? pretty well. The all-wheel drive system does a good job with transferring the power. It doesn't wash out the front end, the body control is great, and the car is willing to rotate, letting you go really fast through corners. While typically for the WRX it has a tendency to understeer, it's that safe understeer which is controllable and tells you when to stop pushing. Now, you mostly rely on visual and lateral feedback, as the steering, despite the changes, still doesn't provide the amount of feedback I would want, but it is quick and responsive. Now, the truth is, you're buying the WRX not just as a weekend car, but as an all-around vehicle, and the WRX TR does not disappoint in that role. The visibility throughout the cabin is great, all surfaces that you touch are made of soft materials, and there isn't much wind noise coming inside. The suspension does feel on the stiffer side, but despite higher spring rates compared to the regular model, it's totally acceptable, and overall, the ride is quite good. To conclude my driving impressions, I'll add that you get a decent amount of low-end torque from the engine, which is good for everyday driving, and the clutch is much better than what Subaru offered in the past, so you don't hate your life when stuck in traffic. So that was the new WRX TR. With everything we covered, let's jump to the final thoughts. The TR is currently the best WRX in the lineup, at least until the TS comes out, and I would risk a statement that it's the best WRX ever from the usability perspective. It's a lot better street car, it rides great, the engine's characteristics is good for everyday driving, and at this price point, we're talking about 42 grand here, I don't think there is a better performance all-around car you can get besides the Type R. The thing about the WRX is though that you can get it at or below the sticker, unlike the Type R. If you have any questions about the WRX TR, feel free to drop a comment and I'll answer them. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll catch you later.